day for this one's over with.
Marking for all 3 cameras. Tell me when we
Next time we'll share one.
Love the movie.
Yeah,
It's great.
I'm
It
glad.
really is. It's one of the neatest movies I've seen in a long time.
Oh, great.
I laughed out loud. I'm not a big
It's okay,
laugher
you can
out
bring
loud.
it in. Come on in, that's okay.
I don't smoke.
I have an ashtray anyway, sorry.
Maybe you'll want
But if
some
you give me
sushi later.
if you give me another one, I can make earrings out of
There
them.
you go. Mark for all 3 cameras.
All right. I'm going to put this down
Yeah.
here, I guess.
We're rolling. Anytime, Jen.
This movie doesn't really fit into any kind of bag, like a drama or comedy or anything like that. So it's a little bit difficult to explain to somebody if you try to tell them what they've seen. I told some folks it was a combination of Ghostbusters and The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Try
Who
your
are we?
luck. Try your luck. I don't know. I just it had elements of all those films. Take a shot. Start with Cher and work your way down. How do you really?
Great,
how do you describe to your friends like what movie this is? Obviously, you're playing witches, but what past that?
Well, oh God, you know what? Until I saw it the other day, I really wasn't sure what it was going to be, and I think that it's mostly a comedy. I think it's mostly enjoyable. Like someone said that she was afraid to go see it because, like, she heard about the snakes, and I said, no, it's not. It's going to be fine. You'll have a good time afterwards. I think that when you leave it, you will be up and enjoy yourself. And it's not exactly a comedy. It's very hard to explain it.
It really is. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
I think it's a very adult movie, you know?
Have you ever seen a movie like this, would you say?
No, I think that's one of the appeals of it. It's just good, clean fun. It maybe gives you a little something to think about in there. You know, it's irreverent. It's unexpected. There's a lot of the scale of it's pretty massive, and you don't see things visually the way you do in this movie. I mean, it challenges your perspective in that way.
Are you superstitious, Michelle, by any chance? Friday the 13th, or walking under ladders, or breaking mirrors, or?
Sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not. I think that somewhere in there I'm kind of superstitious, but depending on what kind of mood I am, it's whether or not I give into that.
Well, there was some hocus
I was
pocus
a little-
involved with this movie. I mean, you were in a wreck.
I
You maybe have almost had an accident with electricity. I mean, this is a movie, The Supernatural.
Kind of like
don't subscribe to that.
Yeah, sure,
You
I
do?
do.
Totally forgot about the wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do think that there's certain themes that maybe draw out a little extra whatever.
Kind of, it's a supernatural movie. I guess you can do that. Did you girls ever do a girls' night out like these ladies did? Did you ever do that in your real life?
We didn't talk about guys.
No, but we did that like constantly. We did girls together days and nights, but mostly when we went out, I think we always went out with Johnny, didn't we? Or
Yeah, we went out.
we always went out with Jack. Like we went to the movies to see Ruthless People or what?
Aliens.
But we
Aliens, oh wow.
Yeah, that was a great. And that was our first.
That was
didn't
so
we? That we
fun.
went to see Ruthless People too.
Yeah, I
We
didn't
think
saw
I was
Ruthless People.
working.
She wasn't there.
okay.
Is he a fun date?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He tells the best story. He can make anything sound like the most fabulous event, the funniest thing. He really is. He's fabulous.
He gives a magical, and I guess that's maybe the appropriate word, performance, because he is almost unreal, but he's almost indescribable too. I mean, he takes that screen and just he occupies it. I mean, he's up there in that face.
Well, he's
doing
always
that.
done that.
But he's every year it's even stronger, I think.
I think he really commits to something so completely without any reservations about being charming, being liked, without any reservation, and so it's a very surprising. And
Does he have to psych
complete-
himself up for a performance like that, a very intense one? Is he kind of off by himself and then it comes out like that, or he just pops into it?
Not that I noticed. We were always.
He's a fairly intense guy all the time.
Yeah, but he never has to like. I mean, not that I could see, or I don't know if you girls, correct me if I'm wrong. He never we would be talking or joking or whatever, and then it would be time to work, and we would all just work.
However, there's something though, when you watch Jack's performances, they seem so free and so easy that I always had the impression that he kind of just got up and done it and did it, but there's a lot of preparation on his part, like before,
He's very
and
thoughtful.
he's very thorough, and he really works that script. I think he reads, he rereads the script all the time throughout shooting. And one time right before we started shooting, he came over and we stayed up until 6 o'clock in the morning, and Jack went through the script with us.
And we started at 9 o'clock. We were
through
supposed to go to
every
a party.
through
we started at
every
9 o'clock at
character.
the night, and we'd never made the party, and we sat there until 6 o'clock in the morning and went through line by line by line by line.
Just trying to clarify things,
I could
trying to
see
figure
that.
out what's going on.
Do you, which career has been most fulfilling for you? Since you've definitely taken 3 careers, I think, with music and then television and then film. Or do you feel fulfilled?
I don't know. Fulfilled is a strange word. It has no meaning for me somehow.
Enjoy? Did you enjoy, do you enjoy film like you do enjoy the live performance maybe?
It's a lot more fun to perform live than it is to make a film. I haven't figured out, someone asked me this the other day, and I haven't figured out exactly the fun part of making the film, except that I know that, you know, it's like, sometimes I think maybe I'm a little bit masochistic, because when you're making a film, you're just like, you feel like, you know, it's hard and it's grueling, and acting is not the difficult part. It's like doing all the other millions of things around it. So it's not as much fun as performing live, but it gives me a lot more satisfaction somehow, because I feel like I'm better at that maybe than other careers I've had in my life.
You ever going to sing for us anymore?
I mean, I have been singing last night until like 2 or 3 o'clock this morning. I've been making an album.
Well, the world needs to see you sing again. And you were you ever a musician before? You just kind of became one because of the cello? Are you really interested?
Oh, Sue, it's so great. She learned how to do.
She
I
really
know,
did look
but
real doing that.
she
Very
just
impressive.
learned how
and
to
Jack
finger
looked great
it.
as the piano player. I mean, that was a, you know, I don't know. I don't know if he could play any, but it sure.
And what
sounded
about her
pretty
tennis, huh?
good. And the tennis, the way.
What a
Right, well, I'm glad you bought it. Yeah, that was tough, and I worked very hard at it, but I couldn't tell you anything more than
Poor
We brought
slide
the cello
down,
in
dip
like that
back.
would be tough, right?
Sue had to learn tennis. She had to learn the
It was a
cello. She
nightmare.
had to
learn how
It was
to
a
fly.
nightmare. It was a nightmare. I really respect musicians so much. Like it was horrible.
Was there anything hard, particularly about making the movie for you? I mean, she had to sleep with snakes. She had to make her finger bleed with musicians. I mean, you're a woman who just wants to have babies. Apparently.
Well, working with the kids was difficult. You know, because
Children and animals.
well, you know, their attention span is about 10 minutes long, and there are 6 of them,
And they weren't actors.
and they weren't actors, and
Their attention spans were all at the different times.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, and as far as you know, my performance, I mean, my first priority was to make sure that they all did what they were supposed to do, and so forget about concentrating on anything that I was supposed to do. So that was pretty difficult, and I hated the flying. Those 2 things. The pool. After 2 weeks of being in that pool, got a little uncomfortable. Those are the main things, I guess.
But it turned out great. I mean, there's going to be a lot of talk about this movie this summer. It'll make you laugh out loud, that's for one thing, because some of the lines delivered in there, which we don't want to say here,
Well, you
are
couldn't
rather
say.
shocking, but they are great. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Stop tape, please.